get here. We've had a lot of different moves around over the last couple of months. I went to my Facebook today and I couldn't find the event after posting it, so I'm glad that you guys did make it. Yeah, I invited like 120 people to attend this, but you know, Facebook, you can invite 7 million and see the 5 that show up. So I like to do the pledge. I'm kind of like, I'm fine with that. If you guys would rather not, just say no, we won't, but I'll go ahead and do it. There's the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And those of you who felt like you didn't have to stand up, I'm fine with that too. I used to be a school teacher, had to do that 5 days a week. I'm way down with doing the pledge. So, thanks. Previous meeting, we had about 32 people show up over the course of the night at the Half Moon Cafe in a space that we shared with Mom Force due to losing our spot at the Refuge. We had been at the Refuge for a number of years, tried to go to a different location that was hip and jazzy, Paz Taqueria, just before they closed. And, you know, it was a nice place.
Nice. Yeah, it was nice.
And we had big meetings, and then they closed. So, during the time that we were wandering around looking for a place to hold things, the Refuge changed their hours to where they close at 7. Instead of 7 o'clock is when our meeting starts. So it became really difficult to have a meeting there at that time. We were offered to share with Mom Force since they had already had a space, and I had some short notice, so we tried that last month. Representatives from AZFMR and the MPP and others attended, and there were many confrontations, sadly some bad behavior. My board asked me to restructure the meeting to reduce the tendency of the crowd to devolve. For example, despite protest to the contrary, you notice that we're not coupling our meeting before or after Mom Force at this time. I respect Kathy and all she's done, but I'm not ready to have a squabble fest. Not going to make marijuana legal by squabbling amongst my supporters. Amen. So, I'd like to have some sort of a structural hello. We have 3 people who are going to be on a panel here tonight. I've asked them to come and speak. Beyond them, I'd like everybody to say like a few minutes of just howdy and what you're doing in marijuana, what you hope to see happen, and so we know each other and work closer together. I'll start with a simple example. My name is Michael Weiser. I'm the state director of NORML, which is a national organization for the reform of marijuana laws. I'm also a congressional candidate in Congressional District 4. I've been working on marijuana seriously this decade and social reform since 1989. I hope to make legalization this year. That's what I'm doing. Young lady, the guy next to you will actually be one of our speakers later tonight, so let's skip over him and start with you.
Oh dear. I work with my dad. I do databasing and I do art here, so.
This is her art on the walls. Beautiful.
So that's what I do, and I try to do as much like things to make a statement for us, so that's what I do. Haley.
Haley.
Hey, Jason, thanks for coming in. I just finished distributing these, and maybe you can share off of one. We're doing the introduction part of the night. Ms. Sternberg, would you do an introduction?
Hi, I'm Andrea Sternberg. I own the Higher Conscience Smoke Shop in Fountain Hills, and I'm also director of Cannabis Access Alliance, which is a patient information and support organization, and as well as I work for High Times at all the cannabis cups, and basically everything I do is revolved around cannabis. So that's about it.
The guy sitting next to you will be one of our speakers later, so we're going to skip past Andrew Young and go to our next person.
I'm Chase. I've been using medical marijuana for like 15 years, and it actually helps a lot. Keeps me out of the ER for my disease.
What is your disease, sir?
I have Crohn's disease.
Oh, awful.
so I do less trips to ER now since I have it. Yeah, that's about it.
Mr. Mickey Jones, I see that you are here. Would you like to say hello?
Mike in real life, Mickey Jones on Facebook. I wrote rap. Really, I'm an extremist. I think we should legalize all drugs, and I'm tired of begging the government for permission. Really, that kind of started out, and I guess I'm a libertarian extremist, but I think all drugs should be legal. Drugs are not a criminal problem. Drugs are a medical problem. Some people can handle their drugs. Most people can. A few people can't. Just because a few people can't handle their drugs doesn't mean it should be illegal for everybody. Like I said, my position is we need to legalize all drugs. I'm an extremist, and I guess if you're at that end on the extreme, when somebody, it's a lot easier for people in the middle to move towards complete legalization. We've got somebody who wants to legalize heroin. Forbid the government for taxing or regulating it, period. But anyhow, that's me, and I guess I'm an extremist.
Mr. Wilson, would you speak next?
Sure. I'm Peter Wilson. I was state director of Normal in the 90s, kind of gave it my all at that time. But here we are 20 years later, still fighting the same battle.
Peter Wilson was one of the people that had these and this and still was convicted.
So I'm mostly cheering on from the sidelines here, especially this guy here. But I want to say the point we all need to make when we're engaged in the marijuana debate, which hopefully we all are, besides with each other on the internet stuff. Marijuana use has not gone down since Prohibition was enacted. It's gone up. And it went up about 4 or 5 times what it was when it was legal, and it's hovered